JP.
Right, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to James Redmond TV, and welcome to another Redmond Roundup. Now, here we go again with another W. Another W. When was the last time we won in the Prem chat? Was it the last day of the season in the Premier League? Or, wait there. Was that a draw? That was a draw, no? No, I'm thinking of Wolves last season, the season previous, should I say. I'm trying to think of what our last game was of the season last year, if it was a good one. Either way, we won a game. It was really productive. It was a really fun game, and I went to the game, and it was boss. I ended up, I was fuming, So I got like this new microphone in it. Crap microphone, so I'm going to get a new one. But I got this new microphone, and what happened was that I attached it, and none of the audio recorded. And I need you to understand, like, I'm a YouTuber. There's nothing more life-sucking than a microphone not working. I am very aware that there's people across the world who have got significantly massive problems, more massive problems than that. But for me, that ruined maybe my whole day. Like, I was furious. I got back. It was a great vlog as well. It was boss. I was in the executive lounge chat. I'm a huge deal. I need you to understand, when you watch James Redmond, you don't watch the same James Redmond that you were watching last month. You are watching James Redmond, who is an executive lounge MF. You know what I mean, chat? I don't know, like, I felt so respected all day. I felt like a king. And then my microphone just absolutely smashed my face into pieces. And I'll be honest with you, I'm fuming. But today's show is going to consist of talking a little bit about the game, the pros, the cons, what to look forward to and what not to look forward to. I think that's important. Can you tell that I'm a Szoboszlai? I'm just saying that I think Szoboszlai is boss. He might be the best midfielder in the Premier League. Chat WRL. And am I being shameless? I think now we've got a shout. I think after the 10 out of 10 performance against Bournemouth, we've got a case study that suggests he's the best midfielder in the Prem. Also, bear in mind, KDB's injured. I love the fact that we've got all W's. We're all being shameless together. That's boss. Right, we've got 200 people in the stream. Smash those likes. I'm also going to be answering a lot of questions. Tom Little will be joining us, I assume, in about 10-15. Possibly 20 minutes, we'll have to say. But let me know that you can see me, you can hear me, you can feel me. And let's get into a wonderful stream. Big up to Jamie King. He says, bit shameless, way too early. Make that statement, G. I agree. I agree. But I also never claim to be the messiah of football. You know what I'm saying, Jamie? You get what I mean? Like, I do feel like I've got supreme knowledge, but I think sometimes my shamelessness does get beyond me. Be honest, though. You're telling me there's not potential. You're telling me there's not potential for that dude to be one of the greatest midfielders that we've ever had. You're telling me? Not even the potential, bro. Like, bear in mind, he was one of our standouts against Chelsea in what was quite an abysmal performance. But he was also a defensive spark in that game, chat WRL. I thought he was a defensive outlet who was very beneficial to our team. And today I just kept seeing him trying to win the ball back. I thought his readings and his timings for tackles was fantastic. And I also think that he kept up with the intensity of the game, which I suppose when you get someone from the Bundesliga, that's the first thing you question. Can they keep up with the intensity? I thought he was fantastic, fantabadoo. I'm just saying, I invested my Sobo stocks early. Did you chat? Did you make sure that you got your stocks in early? Because for me, I think it... Man United is shit. Man United is shit, bro. Man United is shit, mate. You know what it is about Man United? I just think that they've got an awfully loud fan base to a point where they get themselves into mega shit because they come out on the front line and they say we're boss and we're amazing, when really the feet fucking stink and the stadium shite, and overall the manager's being given a huge influx of funds and it's not gone well. Do you want me to tell you why, United fans? Because Ten Hag's just a bit shit, and so is your football club, by the way. And you know what else? I think it's very, very funny, the amount of United fans who came out and was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this in the league and we're gonna do that in the league and it's gonna be boss. When you're diabolically shit, I don't think you have the right to speak those ways. And also, I think it's very, very funny that they'll come out and put cherry emojis, for instance. Well, we just went and absolutely hammered the cherries today. Furthermore, you did that 7 days after getting hammered 7-0. I think there's a common theme there. We go with the sevens. We like the sevens. The sevens are important. You've got to understand that you guys made the wrong choice here because it was Ten Hag, all leaders come to an end. Well, I didn't know he was talking about his own era because I thought he was talking about Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. And it seems that even in a bad time for Klopp, he still smashes the dude who said the era was going to end 7-0. And then even for Pep, he goes on to win a treble. Now, I'm just waiting for what era's going to end. So that's a factually incorrect statement from Ten Hag. I think that's important. Don't you think that's an important statement, chat? If he's coming out and saying this, that, and the other, don't you think it's important that he backs the statement with any substance? And I don't think he's backed it with such substance. So yes, I am definitely in a shameless mood. We are above Manchester United in the league. And you never know, chat, he might go into a madness, and maybe in 12 months they'll get the Saudi owners. But overall, who cares? Who cares, fam? Who cares? Ten Hag hype. You know, Leacher the Butcher. Yeah, Leacher the man who falls over every 2 seconds. Bro, do you know Leacher? He's actually a good player, don't you know, chat? I like Leacher Martinez. The only thing I have with Leacher Martinez is that he's a little bit... He has got a mistake in him. But I also think that the team around him doesn't really help. I don't think that recently Manchester United have been as defensively good as they have been in previous times. But they are a good defensive team. So even though that Salah cooked him inside out, I still think that he's a good centre-back. Like, he's somebody who I would consider as a Liverpool player. You know what I'm saying, chat? If Liverpool gets the defence sorted out, the offence will benefit significantly, making the team a world-class contender. That's right, because I think the offence is already sorted. I think that we've got great offensive midfielders who change the dynamic of the game. And I also think that we've got great attack and fullbacks. We've got an amazing offensive options or overwhelming amount of options for midfield. And then you think about the front three and it's just amazing. The front three options are endless. We've got good young prospects, nice young players to look forward and grow with. It's exciting on the offensive front, but then you say the defensive. I agree. I think Konate's exciting. I think Virgil has to keep his place in the team, but I do still think you can get someone to be a contender. I still think that lacks. But today, it really did feel like it was kind of two at the back and everybody else is going to leg it up front because even Robertson was doing his best up front. You know what I mean, chat? Big up to Magnus! He says, Thomas Boss played with 10 men. Possession football not working for us. Have to split back v Newcastle. Have to sit back v Newcastle. Have to play counter football. Too much space. Now, here's what I do want to talk about just because you mentioned 10 men. Mike, we'll delve into this comment more because I agree. Dom was boss and Dom was amazing. I have a huge problem, chat, with these referees, right? And I understand we're not the only team who gets hard done by referees, and I understand that we're not the only team who's been shafted by referees in the past. But come on, you're telling me that's not the worst red card decision that you've seen in like the past 12 to 24 months? Don't you think there's any substance to it? Chat, what the fuck did he... Chat, he literally... His foot was... He scraped the foot. That is all that happens in this instance. The foot was here. The other foot... This is McAllister's foot. And this is that knobhead's foot. The Bournemouth manager came out and said, oh, by the way, I didn't think it was a red card. When do you ever hear an opposition manager say, oh, we're in a red card? You probably can't find me more than 5 references in English football and history, the hundreds of years that it's gone by. How the hell, in the name of sweet Nancy Francis, is that a red card? Are you taking the Idris again? I'm just sitting here sometimes thinking this... For what is the most physical league and the shithouse league and this, that, what we originated from and where we are now, we are true pussyos. And when I say we, I mean Premier League teams. Do you want me to tell you why? The fact you have VAR and you say, right, that is definitely, definitively, no doubt about it, a red card. I think that's an issue. I think that, and also it needs to be looked at if we want to sustain any credibility that's already frigging lost anyway when it comes to the FA and the regulations and all these things. Even though it's already gone, if you want to try and salvage a little bit of it back, you have to overturn this decision. Chat WRL. Don't they have to... That is a decision that you can overturn. I understand you don't like to go back on your decisions the same way that in the UFC, if there's a mistake made, you don't then come and say, right, we're going to change the result of the fight because it's not fair. It's not fair. The only time they change a result is if somebody tests positive for drugs and then it becomes a no contest. Otherwise, it's just the same. No one. So that's why I don't think the FA will overturn it. But think about it though, chat. We've just missed out. We barely got any midfielders as it fucking is. And McAllister did fuck all wrong. It was literally a scrape on the foot. And now he's going to miss 3 crucial games. And you think about the fact that Gakpo got Jackie Chan's in the friggin' chest. You think, and you saw the marks on him, and you're thinking, how come he never got sent off? If this is the standard and we want to be consistent, well, he needs to now be sent off. And he weren't sent off, so that's a huge problem. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I'm late. Big up Hammers Festus. Never apologise for being late, sir. I'm glad to have you. It's good to see you again, sir. Boss. And it's nice to see you after a win. Even my girlfriend, who knows nothing about football, asked if the refs have something against us. These referees did. No doubt about it. They had a plot plan for this game, and they were thinking, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to... Today, we destroy, you know? Today we destroy, we end life, you know? Shout out to Mike Diaz. He says, if Mac is a red, then Bruno's challenge versus City is 2. Now, I don't know what Bruno's challenge was against City. I'll be honest, I don't remember. But that rat probably deserved to be sent off. Hey, Chatter, you're on to the way Man United fans are thinking the whole team is shit again. Hey, Chatter, are we more of a banter club than Man United? We are. We are kind of, at the moment, we are kind of more bantery just because of the wins. But I don't think that'll stay that way. I think we're now going to go above United again. I think that our respect will go and supersede them. But then again, we did fuck them 7-0. You know? How can, like, you be a little man to a team you beat 7-0? Like, that's bigger than any League Cup that they could have won last season. James, is that glued to your head? No, it's fine. It's what glued to my head? This is my new style. And I think I like it. You know what I mean? You don't go to SpongeBob when he's in work and say, SpongeBob, is that hat glued to your face? No, it's his little fucking bucket hat which he works in, and he makes burgers the same way James sits in his little living room and he makes YouTube video. Come on. It's a nice cap as well, by the way. I feel like you guys don't say, do you know what? Opposed to saying, James, you wear that cap all the time, you need to take it off. I think you should sit there and say, James, I think that's a lovely cap. I think that you should wear it more often. And I think that's a much more productive, nice conversation between me and you guys. It won't get overturned if we do appeal, says Sam. The refs are overprotected to the maximum. What's the point in VAR if they don't overturn obvious incorrect decisions? This is a great point. I think that's actually a fantastic comment there from Sam. I think Sam's bang on when he sits there and says it probably won't get overturned. But then how come it won't even be considered? Because that's the thing. Don't think this is being considered. I would be gobsmacked if it was considered. And then what is the point of VAR? Okay, then. So even with VAR, we've got a subjective rules and regulations, right? Because we've got replays, we've got angles, we've got zoom in options. The technology is frigging endless on how we can look into these files or non-files. And these dudes, even with the excessive technology, I think they get more things wrong. And I think it's because it's a little bit more subjective when it comes to what's a foul, what's not a foul, was there enough pressure, was there not enough pressure, when a lot of these dudes haven't even kicked a ball, at least at that level. Playing with those type of athletes, it's not the same. When you've got someone legging it at the pace of, let's even say, Mo Salah, and then he comes and barges into you, best believe you're going to be winded. You don't have to be a rugby player to do so. That's why a bullet is very effective, chat. You know what I mean? A bullet's effective not because it's such a small surface area, but coming at you at such pace. That is what really causes the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Never thought why such a tiny fucking thing can take the life out of you. It's because it's a tiny surface. It's like if you punch someone in the face. You don't punch someone in the face with your entire fist. You punch someone in the face with that big fuck off knuckle right here. See this one here, chat? You'd ever need to throw a dig. You throw a dig with this big fuck off knuckle. Mine's a little baby knuckle, but you know what I'm saying? You get it on the sweet spot. Nine, chinny, chin, chin. You get what I'm saying? So that's why in this same case, I just want consistency is all. And I don't think we get consistency. And that's where I grow problems. Manchester City won, Newcastle 0. Felt like a title run game. Did Manchester City play Newcastle today, chat? Have I missed the game? I didn't even realise that I missed the game, James. Yeah, I'm a proper physician. Isn't it like a physician? What, chat? What's that word? Not physician. What's that word? It's not physics. What did you say? A physics man? It's not physics man, is it? Isn't it like a physicist? I can't say that word. That's a funny word. Yeah, seen Darwin storm off down the tunnel at the end of the game. Don't think he's happy with his role at the moment. But I hope that was more down to the frustration. Physician, that's it. Yeah, that's more down to the frustration of him not probably doing what he believes he can do. I think he believes he can achieve more. Right? If he believes he can achieve more and he's not doing more, well, that's a problem, isn't it? Because he needs to be able to do more. And he needs to start putting in performances that deserve to start. And I don't even think Jota's been doing that good. But I just think Darwin Nunez can be very wasteful when he's on the pitch, which is why I have a preference of him coming on as an option. I think he's much more better that way. If he doesn't like it, well, then all we need to see is more end product, which is, you know, what I don't want to reference the price tag, but it's kind of what you'd expect him when you're a big money signing. So if he's going to have the mentality of, I am a big money signing, I'm a big dude, the fans always chant my name, now the performances need to reflect. Now the end product needs to reflect this mentality. And if it doesn't, well, then we've got a bit of an issue. You know what I'm saying, chat? So it's not even like a go at Darwin Nunez. Don't Nunez sexuals, calm down. Shout out to Ridwan. Big up to you, sir. He says, can you shout out my good friend Jamal? Big up to Jamal, man. Jamal, I hope that you're doing well today, sir. And even though I don't know your face at all, I just wanted to give you a quick shout out. Is it for his birthday or something? I don't know. Shag his first prize? That was rude. That was like young Hammers coming out for a second, and that weren't even A-star banter, you know what I mean? James, do you think that Nunez isn't starting much suggests that maybe he wasn't a Klopp signing? I understand and prefer other options. But by the way, we need to stop asking that question. And I understand what you're saying, Harris, but it doesn't really make sense. Is it a Klopp signing? Well, there's a lot of things that don't make these a Klopp signing. Just because Klopp said yes for a signing, we don't know if Nunez, because Klopp isn't the one creating the scouting list of targets that Liverpool want to buy. It's the scouts and it's the club. You'd like to think it's Schmatke, considering that we've signed him on a 3-month contract to do so. So the reason why that's important is because Jurgen Klopp isn't the one personally identifying these players, but the owners, well, not the owners, the people who the owners employ are the ones doing this. They'll come to Klopp. And how do we not know that Nunez was the best out of 5 or 6 options? Now we need to know the 5 or 6 options to say whether Nunez was the best, or let's say if Ivan Toney was on the list. Well, why didn't we get Ivan Toney? I'm not saying he was on the list. I'm just saying that as an example. If there was 6 players, if Nunez was the best, context matters. So it's a tough one because we already know Klopp isn't the one who pays the money for these players. We also know he's not the one negotiating the finances of these players, which, by the way, if you're not negotiating the finances or the weekly wage of these players and you don't have any heavy input on that, then you don't have control on whether or not they come in, because Klopp would have taken Caicedo and he did not get Caicedo. You get what I'm saying? So I think I think it's disingenuous, because every signing to a degree will be a Klopp signing. Even though Salah wasn't Klopp's first choice, he was still happy enough with Salah to a point where he took him, you know? So I'm happy I'm glad Klopp isn't the identity man at the club. I'm glad he's not the one identifying the talents, because I think he hasn't really got a track record of being able to identify proven talents and make them boss. But I do think that if you complement him with the right player, someone with good attributes, then Klopp can use them and maximize them to a great, great level. And when he was at Dortmund, he had a great recruitment team. When he had that 4-year spell, 5-year spell at us where we were doing really well, we had a great recruitment team. It was just one of those things. We had way more hits than misses, and now it seems to be balancing itself out. And when you see other teams getting nothing but hits and the competition increases in the league, that is where it gets a little bit too difficult. You know what I'm saying, chat? But by the way, is my screen a little bit funny? Like, is it like going black? Like, do you know them little black lines that sometimes pop up? Can you see that? The competition is good to have. Eventually, Klopp is going to have to, it's going to say, prove it to Nunez, and he needs them. Well, I hope he's already saying that now. I hope Nunez kind of thinks, okay, I'm not doing enough to be in this team. I don't deserve to be in the team above Gakpo. And arguably, my best day versus Jota best day, I don't really think it's that close. So unless I can get above Jota, well, now we've got to reconsider Gakpo, because Gakpo is probably going to go back into that position. Because as we've seen, Klopp likes Gakpo deep. You know what I'm saying? I think Nunez primarily is to be there for the backup option, whether it be left wing, striker, and I think he can do that very, very well. If he doesn't like it, then maybe we might see some problems in the next 12 months, which I hope isn't the case, because I think Nunez loves the club, and I think the fans love him every time. Even me, I'm there like, Nunez, boss. Like that's probably the most passionate chant that we've got in the stadium right now. Like anytime Nunez comes on, everybody is fucking buzzing. Everyone is harmoniously chanting his name, and it's just a great time. It's a boss time. I hate the way I go blurry. Chat, bear with me one sec. Nunez, you know what I'm saying? I think I'm sitting too close to it, maybe. Is that the problem? Yeah, that's probably the problem, you know what I'm saying? James Basuma is ridiculous. He's boss player. I'm surprised he never hit the fucking ground running in his first season. You know, he's boss. Would you take him over our targets? I personally take him even over Lavia. No. I think there's better options out there. I also don't think we could get him. I think Tottenham have got big plans for Basuma this season, but would have I taken him at Brighton? 100%, absolutely. Chat, didn't he only go to Tottenham for like 30 million as well? Oh, we missed out on a fucking bargain. Will McAllister be out for the next few weeks? Next week's game against Newcastle. And if so, what will be the fix in the team? Because we will again be left with only two midfielders, Endo and top G, KDB, Szoboszlai. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. So first and foremost, unless it gets overturned, then yes, McAllister's going to miss 3 Premier League games. So just to even put that in perspective, I'll look up at what games he will miss, you know what I'm saying? Liverpool fixtures. I'll share the screen as well so you guys can see it. Okay, great. Share screen. Barriere. You're onto that one on the little mix chat where she's like, Barriere. What does that even mean? It's Jamaican. Anyway, let me have a look. Newcastle, Liverpool. Okay. Was this? Wait there. Oh no, that's Premier League. I asked for Liverpool fixtures, fam. Oh no, these are Liverpool fixtures. My bad. I'm having a dumb moment. Newcastle on the 27th of August. Then we've got a game against Villa on the 3rd, and then the 16th. So we've got an international break. We've got an international break in between the Villa game and the Wolves game. So yeah, he will be missing quite a while. If this ban is not to be overturned, he will be missing until the 24th of September, which is over a month away. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? He might be out for over a month because of this shit. Because of a shitty decision like that a month. Are you taking the Idrissa Gana, you piss takes? Oh, this UEFA needs this FA needs a sort of shit out. He's not given a flipping chance. He's not being given a flipping chance. He was joint top scorer in pre-season and no starts, plus given 5 minutes. How is he supposed to prove himself? You'll end up talking him out of the club. It's madness. Right, Ashley, stop crying. Stop crying. Chat, can we get the tear emojis in the chat for Ashley first and foremost? Because it sounds like he's crying, correct? Sounds like that I've really offended him because I've simply said I don't like Darwin Nunez on a high standard point of view. So let's break this down because this one's an interesting comment. Okay, then, he's not being given a flipping chance. Well, what was the 10 games that he started at the start of last season? Just to ask a question. Let's define a chance. So is a chance a run of games or a chance one game? Because he's been given more than one game, therefore he's been given a chance. Is a chance training? Because what if he's not training better than everyone else? Isn't that a bit of an issue? Because your only precedent here is top scorer in pre-season when he only scored 9 league goals last season. Oh, and by the way, missed probably twice as many sitters. So the reason why that's important is because it's not shitting on Nunez. It's simply calling out the flaws. The same way, even though James Redmond is a mediocre but fine YouTuber, I think the way he can improve is by getting some stuff in his background because the background is plain as fuck. I think that's great constructive criticism, and I don't think you're pushing me out of doing YouTube simply because you relayed this criticism. Also, you can sit there and say, James Redmond is nowhere near the standards of a Mark Goldbridge. Why do Man United get a Mark Goldbridge to represent them, and we get a James Redmond to represent us? That's a problem because now you're sitting there and saying, okay, then fine. Even though James Redmond represents this and he represents X, he is bad because of this, that, and the other. Now, here's the score. I might not be Mark Goldbridge. That's why it's fair for you to sit there and say, you don't meet my criteria, you don't meet my standard, therefore I'm not going to tune in. The same way I'll sit here and say, I think it's great and very productive and we can get a lot out of his attributes if he comes on for the final 30 minutes. I don't think it's very hard to comprehend, Ashley. You know what I'm saying, broski? Like, all I'm saying is that I think his attributes are good, but I think they adhere to us more towards an end of the game. Oh, by the way, I don't think he's better than Jota. And it's not a bad thing to say that he's not better than Jota. The same way it's not a bad thing to say Mark Goldbridge is better than James Redmond. I think it's a very fine statement. It's also very subjective. Some people might think James Redmond is elite, and then some people mightn't. The same way some people will think about Nunez. You'll have Nunez sexuals like yourself, and then you'll get more objective fans on people like Nunez, like me. You get what I'm saying? So first and foremost, he has been given chances, so that's quite insincere what you've just said. And second of all, even though he was top scorer in pre-season, you now got to analyse who was you mentioned joint top goal scorer, who was the other top goal scorer? Was it Jota, chat? When Jota the only other one? So based off that same precedence, Nunez should start because he was top goal scorer in pre-season. Well, Jota is starting, and by the way, he was joint top goal scorer in pre-season. Also, Jota scored 20 goals before January in that quadruple chasing season. I don't think you understand the levels of how highly he should be rated from a Jota standpoint. Now, let's analyse the second part. How's he supposed to prove himself? You'll end up talking about the club. Right, so if Nunez sits here and watches James Redmond and he thinks, oh, How dare he say I'm not world class? In his like very limited English accent, which is boss, by the way. He'll sit there and say, okay, then how dare he say I'm not world class? I am leaving. I throw my toys out the pram. I am leaving. Is that a player that you want up front, Ashley? Is that what you want as your number 9? I'm just agreeing with you that, okay, let's agree with this story or this narrative. Okay, Nunez will get hurt by words by James Redmond. Let's agree with this. So if he gets hurt by words by James Redmond, don't you think there's a bit of a sort of insecurity there where he's watching a YouTuber with less than 100,000 subscribers with barely any opportunity in a lifetime of a beard, who literally has, even though humongous muscles, not the biggest chest. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a problem on the mentality aspect, right? That's my issue with Nunez. If he was going to get offended by my words. So I don't think anything of what you've said there. It makes actually Nunez sound like a bit of a victim, if anything, which I don't think he needs. And I think you're patronising Nunez if you think he needs that. Which actually, now I'll spin this on you, Ashley. I think you hate Nunez more than me. Bars, fam. Bars, son. Big up to Elijah. He says, coming from Denver in the United States of America, bro. To get to Anfield by the end of 23 or spring 24. What UK visa should I get? Chat. Is there any people who are good with visas and shit? You know what I mean? Like, I've just got a British passport, mate. So I'm not too sure. I'm not even too sure. You know, lads, I haven't been out the country for time as well. Love my Darwin comment. Has sparkled a debate. Let's go, Hammers. Tell the people facts, bro. Do you know what as well? It's fine to have an opposing view to what I have. If you believe he's good enough to start, great, but don't just sit there and lie and say he's not being given opportunities. He has been given opportunities, and some of them he's took really well, and then some of them he's been diabolically shit. And yeah, I came out on a match reaction and said today Diogo Jota played really bad, and I also said after Chelsea Diogo Jota played really, really bad. Okay, so if he played really, really bad, well, do I hate Jota? No. And does it mean he hasn't been given a fair chance? No, of course he has. He's just been shit. Honesty, Hortensia. He says, if we are objective, are we going to talk about Salah's atrocious first touch? Sometimes being too greedy and Salah can't even go past this defender. I love Mo, but it seems like people never critique him. I try to critique Mo, but then people say, oh, you love Mane more than Mo, so you've got a Mo agenda. Like as if both things can't be mutually inclusive, you know what I mean, chat? I love Mane and I love Salah, and just because I like Mane more doesn't mean I don't like Salah. But as I said in my match reaction, he is one of those where if he's not scoring or assisting, he doesn't tend to have a heavy influence on the game, as you say. Poor first touch at times, and taking on players one-on-one is certainly not a strong asset. For taking on players one-on-one, I'd have a preference of Harvey Elliott or Endo. I think Salah could actually arguably be the worst right winger when it comes to taking players one-on-one. But at the same time, he's had some good moments. He's had some bad moments. He's just inconsistent on that front. Where he is consistent and over-consistent is his goals, which is why he's got to be in the team. It's fine to have that one outlet who doesn't do as much as everybody else from a standpoint of, being efficient. But as long as he keeps getting those chances and he has the mentality to continuously get in those positions, then we can see the goals inflate. And overall, that has a greater benefit for the team. So yes, I agree. I think that he does avoid criticism very easily. And I think it's fine to critique what's bad about Salah. Same way it's good to critique what's good about him. To praise what's good about him. Joey says, do you think we'll sign anyone else, mate? Yes, I'm very confident we'll get a CDM. I don't know why I'm confident, but I just have a feeling. I just couldn't imagine a world where we sell Fabinho and don't get a CDM at all. I think the club know that'd be professional suicide. So it's one of those where we'll have to wait and see on that front. By the way, can we smash those likes? Can we get them up? Just because it gets the video more out there and allows me to do this on a more die-to-die basis. It takes Salah off pens. Every pen he... Me and my mate Alec, who went to the game today, right? We were sitting there and we were like, I don't want friggin'. Szoboszlai won the penalty, and Szoboszlai was looking like that guy. I wanted Szoboszlai to take the penalty straight away. I understood that would have been disrespectful, but Salah's penalty was diabolically shit. Like, there was no technique on that whatsoever. He genuinely was just hoping that the goalkeeper would go the wrong way. And I do think it's got in his head a little bit. I agree. I definitely think it's got into his head a little bit. Nunez will thrive when Klopp sees the right opposition. He can thrive against, and Nunez got to use the chance correctly. That's right. That's right. I mean, listen, right there, Nunez will thrive when Klopp sees the right opposition. He can thrive against, and Nunez got that. Yes. So there's certain games that are great for Nunez. For instance, when he was at Benfica, a great game for him to play on a big stage with a great platform was against us because he had lightning pace, and we played such a ridiculous friggin' high line. He was bound to score a goal or two or get in behind once or twice. You know what I mean? which made him look world class. But then you'll see him play against some bottom half of the team tables and he'll look really, really poor. And it's because not everyone plays that high line. And that's why he looked so good against us, is because we constantly gave him that space, that threat to just absolutely leg it and pace it in behind. Noah says he isn't quite flowing yet. Despite his poor game in the final third today, I believe and hope it's only a matter of time until the Salah of the beginning of 21-22 is back. I actually think Salah's been, I thought in the opening part of the Chelsea game, he was great. And I think over pre-season, he's been fine. As long as Salah does enough, as long as he does his job, Salah doesn't need to do everything if the midfield is doing everything they need to do, and then everyone else is doing the job they need to do. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. And by the way, I don't know where Tom is, chat, so I'll double check to see if Tom's even still jumping on. He did let me know he was going to jump on, but if he's not, then are you still jumping on? But yeah, I just think it's going to take time with Salah. I think over time, I think he'll find his stride, and as long as he's getting numbers and then everyone else is contributing as well, then we're all gravy and the booster, baby. But yeah, man, thank you for everyone who's been super chatting as well and liking and subscribing to the channel. The channel's been booming. Like, I literally cannot speak enough of it. Savagando. What's he saying? Yeah, just sorting out my Wi-Fi. It'd be like 10 minutes. Soon. 10 minutes, we'll see. Dummers. Jota was our best player. End of last season in pre-season. Give the lad a proper chance, not just 2 games. Yes, I agree. A lot of people are short-minded. It's funny because the same people who will say stop being harsh on Nunez are the same people saying drop Jota after 2 games. And it's fine if you want to drop Jota after 2 games. I don't know if I agree with it. I don't know the way of finding someone to get the goals and get them into form is by dropping them. Especially when he's only had 2 games. You know, there was streaks of games where Nunez was missing chances and people were fine with it. Especially when you think about the conversion rate. The conversion rate was really, really poor. So that's why I'll sit there and just say, let's be fair. It's fine if you don't want him to start. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Gakpo back in the false 9 chat. Are you on that train as well? I love Gakpo, he's such a nice player. He's just an intelligent, smart Dutch man. Like, that's what Gakpo is. And he's a man of Christ. And I know you say, oh, James, why does it matter if he's a man of Christ? I just like it, okay? I think it's cool when footballers are men of Christ. Men of God. Ryan says, James, are you the same person as I do absolutes and Mane is the best in the world about 5 years ago on Redmen TV? No, unfortunately not. But we are very close. And what I will say about that dude is that he's an awfully funny dude. And he's great looking as well. And I wish him all the best and successes in his future endeavours. And that interview is an amazing thing. So fair play to him. Fair fucking play, mate. Fair fucking play. Chat, what's his name? Personally, Gakpo or our best number 9, rather have him play. I agree. I think he is more to the Bobby role. I think that's just something with a false 9. It gets Salah more goals. It gets Diaz more goals. By the way, oh, fuck all of you Diaz haters. Oh, by the way, I just want all you Diaz haters to shut the fuck up because you guys are scumbags. Scumbags, I say. How dare you hate on Diaz? Diaz is boss. And those who hate Diaz, you hate yourself. Nah, Diaz is sick, I think that there's always times where Diaz can look frustrating, but I have always had the belief that he can be a 20 GA, 25 GA goal contributor. I really believe this. And I also just think he's a lovely player overall, and he's always making space for other players because he's constantly dragging defenders out of place with his dribbling, which is so important. People think, oh, he has no end product. Well, if he gets himself into a bad position, but lays it off to someone in a good position, because he's dragged people out of the position which is considered good, and he's now in the bad position, bringing the defenders into a bad position, but there's that small gap. He finds it. So yes, he might not get the assist before the goal, and yes, he might not get the goal, but now he's actually getting the goals, and he's still creating space for the attackers. That's important. That's important to note down, you know what I mean? Diaz is amazing, mate, and I think has potential to be our best front 3. The best player in our front 3. And I've said that for a while. I think he's got a lot of promise. James, if you take on DM without Palhinha and you have 80 to spend, who would you buy? If you take on DM without Palhinha, so you're saying not Palhinha, I don't know, Decore, Amrabat, I'd be fine with. It just depends who we could get, really. I'm not too sure. Diaz won't assist. He doesn't know how to pass. He does too much. I think sometimes you're right. I think sometimes he does too much. But I don't think that's it. I think people overplay that. Yeah, off that same premise, you should not want Mo Salah to start. You shouldn't want him to start because he gets the ball into some bad positions at times. But, you know, you give him persistence. He ends up getting the goals. He ends up creating enough space for other people. There's a greater good for having Salah there, you know? I think people are just harsh on Diaz because he hasn't got the credit in the bank. But if you deny his attributes, then that's weird to me. Honestly, he says, I think Darwin will work great when we play teams who plays on the front foot. Imagine McTen, Szoboszlai, Trent just feeding Darwin, and Darwin works fantastic with Mo. I suppose. I still think we've got to question the finishing. If we all can agree his conversion rate is not as good as it should be, and we can all agree that he's not as good of a finisher as some people believed he would be, then now we've got to analyse, okay, it's fine to get the chances, but if you can't take the chances, then it's a bit of a problem. You know, it's like trying to feed a man with his mouth sewed shut and trying to feed him. It doesn't make no sense. And that's why I think to myself, okay, then if it's not going to digest properly and he's not going to be able to convert it into goals, what's the point in providing him those chances? You know what I mean? And that's only my personal opinion. It's not a case of I'm trying to hate on Darwin. And as I say, I chant the Nunez chant louder than anyone in the stadium. So, but yeah, there's nothing but good things if Nunez does well for Liverpool. I just don't think it'll happen. And if he's getting frustrated because of a lack of game time, good. I hope it brings out the best in him. Hope it makes him do the Ronaldo thing where he takes 100 shots in training. You know what I mean? Smash those likes, by the way. It's always good to get them up. 500 people in the stream. Big up your damn selves. Szoboszlai looks like he's played for us for years. Oh, he so does. He's just such an amazing player. Honestly, I was very surprised with the signing, but I think we already feel that he is an extraordinary player with a huge potential. Absolutely. It's why I invested. Chat WRL, did James not invest his stocks into Sobo early? WRL. That's exactly what I did, chat. I made sure that I got those stocks in early. I saw the ability. I saw the attributes. And the same way that I analysed all the other signings that I've liked and haven't liked, that was one that I really, really liked. That is a fucking gem of a signing right there, you know, chat. That is a gem of a signing. That is someone you can look at and say, okay, maybe our future in the next 2 to 3 years is solidified with that dude. If we need a league-winning goal or a goal that's defining us, or a defining goal that determines us getting top 4 or not, Szoboszlai is the guy, bro. Szoboszlai is the one for the big moments. Szoboszlai is the one who will continue to grow. And this is just his first 2 games, and I think he's been a standout performer. I'm not overrating him. KDB worries about Szoboszlai in the title. I'm not overrating him. No, listen, you know I'm shameless, and I do understand and admit that I've got a shameless side to me, okay? But I do think he gradually grows into one of the best players in this league, and I certainly think he'll grow into being the best player for this team. Him and Trent, I just fucking love that idea on them two on that side, man. Like, do you know what I'd love, chat? Them two, like, as a sort of left centre mid and right centre mid, and then just play McAllister as a number 10 opposed to a number 6. Are we not down for this? Or Gakpo as a number 10 instead of McAllister? You're telling me you're not down for that for a game? I understand. We've still got no defence. But in the current circumstances, wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, that'd be boss. Just like after, and what would be sick as well is that everyone would have to watch out for their long shots. So now players are being dragged out of position because they're so worried about the long ranges. I think Curtis can replace Mac in midfield pretty well. I don't know. Chat WRL on the Curtis McAllister thing. You think Curtis goes above McAllister? Endo and Sobo pretty well if the red doesn't get overturned. I wish we started Endo today. I think that Klopp missed the trick. I think it should have been. To be fair, I actually liked Gakpo today. I thought he was terrible against Chelsea, but I thought he was fine today. But I would have went with originally McAllister, Sobo, and then in the 6, I'd have went with Endo immediately. I just think he's one of those dudes who can just come into the team straight away and just absolutely mash work. You know what I mean, chat? I think he can absolutely mash work. Doak, Sobo, and Trent are right-hand side for years. Hey, that will be a cold right-hand side. Think about Ben Doak running in behind, receiving the service off of Trent Alexander-Arnold and Szoboszlai. That would be insane. Insane. Are Liverpool going to buy a right-back? Oh, no, bro. We might not even sign a centre midfielder. What are you on about? We need to get a midfielder first. We've got literal world-class defence. Blame Klopp, crap ticks, not the players. I think it's disingenuous to say not the players. I don't know how you watched half of the games last season and put every single mistake that the players made down to a Klopp tactic. You are hilarious, dude, bro. I would love to momentarily be inside your brain. I think that is ludicrous. Chat WRL on this one. Do you agree? Because it doesn't matter what I just think. It only matters if we're all having a belter and we're all agreeing and disagreeing. Do you agree with this? Don't you think this is somebody who's having a joint right now just watching the stream and the high? Like, just got finished watching a Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg film. Don't you think this is a bit disingenuous? That's a huge L in the chat. You're telling me when Jurgen Klopp is forced to use Reece Williams and Nat Phillips at centre-back that it's a tactical problem, you fucking dumb fuck. Come on! That's a fucking ridiculous statement. But fair play. Everyone has their opinions. And I think the players don't get enough blame. I think that fans have this problem with idolising players way too much, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Queen Nadra says the red card was a stupid decision. But whether they gave us a red card or not, we always win in the end. When at the end of the storm, you'll never walk alone. Oh, what a beautiful little bit of poetry at the end there, aren't you, boss lads? Now, big up to you, Queen Nadra. Big up to you. Absolutely buzzing to have you in the stream. And thank you for the financial support. As for everyone, chat, did you know that I had a superstar plan for tonight's stream? And he's a proper superstar. He's not no little man. Well, he is. He is like, he's little, but he's not like a little. Wait. It's Tom Little, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, people. How are we all doing on this fine Saturday evening?
Jeez, we're getting the vlog. We're getting the vlog angle as well. This is what's.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I was about to log on my PC and then it just crashed.
What the fuck? Wait there, like it's broke.
It just crashed, so I'm on my phone.
Hey, that's a mean little setup that you've got there, though, Tom. Like, I think that's proper decent little setup.
It's all right, isn't it?
Hey, you're flying, mate. You're flying. How's your day been?
Fucking worked.
Wait, yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. It's one thing having a big, massive, fancy setup and then it not working. It's kind of like buying Darwin Nunez. Was that bad?
That was all right, you know. That was all right.
Does that sound? I thought it was all right. I thought it was something fine away. How are you, brother?
I'm all right. That'd be one. So nothing to complain about here.
Get the W's in the chat.
Saturday midday. Nothing to complain about.
You had any Stellas? Any bets? Nice. I'm happy for you. I did. Guess where I was today, Tom?
I don't know.
Executive Lounge.
Look at James going big time.
I was a huge deal today. Big up to Zaid, who gave me the tickets. By the way, he gave me a ticket and my friend to go as well. He's a cool dude because he couldn't make the game. He was like, James, you want to go? I was like, yeah, of course I want to go. And then, have you ever been in the Executive Lounge, Tom?
I've been there once. It's fucking mad, isn't it?
Bro, it's amazing. Bro, I got this steak. And I'll be honest, yeah, and it's all free. The steak's free. The starter's free.
Mad, isn't it?
Bro, and it was amazing. I sunk my teeth into that steak like.
Do you know what it is though with us, James? We go in there and we stand out because they're all like, I'll have the caviar, I'll have the risotto, and we're like,
yeah, I'm saying give me the
when I went there, I was like, you see these things on the side? They have these little like bucket things on the side. I'm going, what are these for? And they go, you can put your bottle of wine in the bucket. And I go, can you chuck some beers in that for me and just leave it there for us? Yeah, no worries. So everyone else has got these like dead expensive bottles of wine. I'm sat there with 7 bottles of beer in this bucket with ice in there going, fucking what's this?
You're just thinking, what the fuck are we doing with all this shit? Like, I didn't even know some of this stuff invented, bro, or like existed. Like, bro, it's so amazing in there. Even the seats weren't bad as well.
If that's what funds check the corner, I'm all for it, lad.
Hey, listen, that's what we need. Lad, we even got Neil, is his name Neil Lennon? He came and spoke after it, like he was doing like a little Q&A or whatever. Is it Neil Lennon? I'm not too sure. He's on LFC TV, though. I might have said his name wrong. But yeah, chat, make sure that you all go subscribe to Tom. His YouTube channel is in the title as well. I suppose, lads.
1K subs, by the way. Realise that's the date.
You're on like 950 something, innit? Chat.
I'm on 951.
Chat, we've got 450 people in this stream. I want you all to go and get that to 1K right now. Let's do that, chat. Come on. We just won today. We're a group of winners. We're a group of winners. So we're going to do this, okay? We just need 49 or so of you to go and subscribe to Tom Little. I would appreciate it massively if we could get that done this stream, okay? And I'll check back in with that in a little bit. Yeah, Tom, lad. So I'm a Szoboszlai all the way now. So I invested my stocks early, right? And it was amazing how much confidence I had in this guy just because of his attributes and compilations. And now seeing him on the pitch, he's actually better than what I thought because he puts in his shift off the ball as well, which I think is massively important, bro. Like, did you notice his off the ball work?
Lad, I watched him today. I think the best reaction you could get from me is, you know, LFC put out that tweet after the game where they go, here's your man of the match. My honest reply to that was just shag me. Like, he was that good. Honest to God. From minute 1 to minute 90, best player on the pitch. Best player on the fucking pitch. Everything from an attacking end, from a defensive end. Passing was crisp. Defensive work was solid. Even in like the 85th minute when he dances past two people, puts the cross in, he was boss. And look, I'm here to apologise to people. I'm here to apologise because I was misguided by the evil spirits of the football world. And I was someone who possibly suggested that Mason Mount would have been a better signing than Dominik Szoboszlai. And I'm not here for forgiveness. I can't ask for forgiveness from such a heinous crime. I'm simply here to apologise. Dominik, I didn't know your game. I didn't know how good you were. I didn't know what you provided. I'm sorry. You don't have to accept my apology because what I done was so unforgivable. But I'm sorry. And the people of the chat, James, I am sorry for even doubting what Dominik Szoboszlai could do. I even suggesting that Mason Mount could provide anywhere close to that. So I'm simply here to apologise to the people. I'm here to repent for my sins, as I said earlier. You know, I was uneducated. I was ignorant.
I think you summed it. Yes. I think you summed it beautifully in this tweet. And I think that was an amazing speech as well. And by the way, we forgive you. Just know we're a very forgiving bunch here. You know what I mean? We forgive you. We're happy you're not the one making the decisions at the top of the football club. That's for fucking sure. I'll tell you that for free.
As am I.
But at least you would have got us a DM. You know what I mean? By the way, did you notice, like, even though it was a good result, it was still like there was a massive gaping hole with the no CDM.
Every time they beat that initial press, they just cut straight through us because there was nothing there. I love Macca, and that red card was bollocks, by the way. Bollocks red card, never a red. But you can tell that Macca's not a DM. He needs to be further up. And every time they beat the initial press of Diaz, Gakpo, Jota, down that side, they killed us. And that's even with Andy Robertson having a blinder of a game as well. I thought Robbo was faultless today. Yep. But even with him being boss, every single time they got him down that side, fucking Philip Billing looked like prime Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
The runs from deep, I was petrified. I was thinking, he's going to play Stefan Jovetic in a minute. Negredo's going to be getting on the end of one of these passes in a minute. That's how good he was. So, even though we won, there's still questions to take from it. I look at that game today and I go, I've got a lot of positives to take from Sobo. Got a lot of positives to take from the defence because they really clicked into gear today.
Yep.
I need a DM. You get me that DM ahead of Newcastle, we can do something real good.
We can talk about something.
If I'm going to St James's Park and I've got Czech Decore holding it down and Macca and Sobo in front of him.
Yeah.
Sandro Tonali ain't going to know what's him.
He's not going to know what's his fucking. He's going to be like, fuck, I should just try and hit in a bin in AC, you know what I mean? I should just try to stay there somehow.
Not trying to try Sobo. Not trying to say Macca. Well, today was good. To be honest, I'm a little bit gutted that Stefan didn't get any minutes because I know he was on the bench.
That's right. But
I think he would have got those minutes should Macca have not got sent off.
Stefan would have started. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Stefan would have started probably some of these games if he was fully fit from pre-season. And I'm kind of glad that he didn't because I think that would give the club a mini incentive to say, "Oh, this dude's good." You know what I mean? Like, let's just go.
Stefan would have had a good game. The other one. Do we need the DM? Did you see Stefan?
Yeah, it's like, right, I think Stefan and Tyler Morton are great fucking options. Why not go with these two? He's a boss. Like, we'll make them £100 million assets in 12 months. Also, and that's what I thought. Like, I'm
for the Endo clans, before we carry on, Endo made his debut. Endo didn't fuck up. Endo is a success.
Endo is boss. Endo's a boss guy.
Did you see? He made a tackle as well. And that's something I haven't seen from midfielders in a long time, you know. Made the slide.
I think we should have started Endo. I think we win that. I don't even think we go 1-0 down if Endo starts.
I think that first half we lacked a little bit of that fight in the midfield a little bit. That's a little bit of that nastiness that Endo would give you.
Facts.
Like first 10 minutes we were awful. Like
that's right.
Trent, I love Trent, but fuck me, he didn't wake up that first 10 minutes. Gabe should have conceded the first. Defo conceded the actual first. Even Alisson was making mistakes, and at points like that, you just need a little bit of calmness. And Endo wasn't, people expected Endo to light the world up, but he's not going to do that. He's fucking Endo. We signed him from Stuttgart. But he came in when there was a little bit of pressure on him because we were down to 10 men, and he done a job. Didn't make any major mistakes. Didn't do anything outstanding. But I can't complain about that because that's what we need. Stuff like that is exactly what this team needs because you've lost the players who used to give you that. The players like your Milner, the players like, even though we get on to him, Endo would give you that at points.
That utility option
could
is
win
so
stuff.
huge, bro. That utility option is so huge. Like, I was watching Hussam, for instance. I love Hussam, bro. I don't know how he doesn't understand, like, that this can be a good sign. Maybe he does, and maybe he's just really being butt-fucked by the whole window, you know what I mean? Like, he does not like this window and how it's gone. However, I think you can look at Endo and say, that can be a shrewd piece of business, because there's
100%.
not really, it's not high expectation. Like Minamino, if it doesn't go well, fine. It was very easy. It just took Minamino a couple of cup goals to be from what could have been a shit signing or considered a shit signing to a really good signing.
100%.
If Endo comes in and does a job in big games and covers us in big games and has those big moments, which I don't think he shies away. I love a midfielder who's willing to get stuck in. I don't expect him to win 100% of his tackles. I don't expect him to be in the right position 100% of the time. But I like what Klopp said. He's a late bloomer. And you get some of these people, you know what I mean? Some of these people like Jamie Vardy, Kante, they were still a bit earlier in all fairness. But those guys went on to heights that were insane.
100%. Look,
if Endo can get half of that, great.
Yeah, look, the issue that I think some people have with him, and I think that Sam has with him, is the timing of the signing. If Endo had come in after we signed the DM, he'd be looked on a lot more positively.
That's right.
The issue is people are looking at him going, Liverpool are going to cheap out and go, there's your DM.
He's the main guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people are worried about. I'm happy to judge Endo by the standards that Jurgen Klopp has set. And Jurgen Klopp, whenever he refers to Endo, was saying, James Milner. So I go, okay, I judge him by what I expect off James Milner. And he came in and done a milli job today. That's exactly what he done. From minute 60 to minute 90, Endo done a milli job. Not fantastic, not terrible, but I don't need that. I don't need that. And this is the thing. We'd all love a team of world beaters.
That's right.
But you can't have that. Football doesn't work like that because the world beaters need to play. You need 3 or 4 pieces who are happy to go, I'm not going to play. But when I'm called on, you best believe I'm doing a job.
Facts,
and
bro.
I think Endo has everything to do that. And I'm happy that today didn't pass him by. I'm happy that he got his moment today. He had some bright sparks. You could tell he was new. 100% you could tell he was new because there was moments in that game where he was a bit slow on the ball. He got caught in possession a couple of times. But that's what happened. That's what happens when you come from another league. The Bundesliga doesn't compare to the Premier League, so you're expecting those moments. In the first game against Bournemouth, there's no better place for it to happen. It's against Newcastle where the questions and the worries could occur because they can punish you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, today was a decent game for them, and I thought it wasn't a 9-10, because it's never going to be, but it was a 6-7, and that's all.
Done the job. Done the job, broski. Done the job. That's what I like about Endo. He just comes on and he's just sound, lad. He's just like, I'm not going to fuck about. I'm just going to cover up for the team. I'm going to make us more shrewd, and then it's happy days. And by the way, Drunk Vigo, is it your birthday today, broski? Like, sincerely, not like the way we do it with Tom. Like, actually your birthday. If it is, bro, happy birthday. Because, like...
Happy birthday, Drunk Vigo, if it is as well.
If it is his birthday. Because, lad, I swear, I saw him say a comment yesterday where he was like, it's my birthday tomorrow or something. Can you give me a shout out? Oh, drunk, lad. Drunk. Have a belter, son. Have a belter.
Happy birthday,
everyone wish Drunk Vigo a happy birthday. One of the goats of the stream. Do you know what's amazing as well about Drunk Vigo? I believe he's Canadian, you know. I believe he's like
Canadian.
One of those motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, hey.
Not Mali. Canadians are sound, aren't they?
Canadians are sound. People. They're like calmer versions of us. They go, hey. We go, hey. Fucking hey.
They're all very forgiving as well. They're all very sorrowful and everything.
They're all to that meme, Tom, where she like gets out the car, and then she's like, "You nearly crashed into me.
You nearly crashed into my car."
Start spitting in her face with a smoky breath. I was going to say as well, we spoke on Endo, who's boss. We spoke on Szoboszlai as well. We've also touched on the red card decision. I suppose now the next steps is, going forward. Say somehow we don't get a midfielder in by Newcastle, or let's say we do, but they're not going to start the game. How does your midfield 3 start? against Newcastle, especially when you consider that Thiago and Bajcetic are more likely to be available for that game, barring any further injuries. Curtis is an option as well. Do any of them now move into the number 6 role? Or would you edge maybe more of a double pivot, advance a number 10 maybe? What's your solution, Tom? We need one.
Lad, that's like asking which lad I want to fuck me missus. That's a tough question because they're all boss. I reckon Curtis comes in, I'm a big fan of Curtis. I think he comes in and offers a lot to you. I don't think this is a moment for Stefan or Thiago to come straight in the start. I think the game could pass them by. They need a slower game to start off with.
Yeah.
I think for Thiago and Stefan, the first Europa League game is the big one for them. You'll be up against shit opposition. They get a chance to grow into the game with first team football. For me, I'd be going, if you're not getting a DM in, but Endo, is Endo ready? Are we saying McAllister's available or not? Because I think we're going to appeal that card.
Nah, he's not going to. I don't think that'll get overturned.
So I'm going Endo in the 6. I'm going Sobo on the right, and I'm going Jones on the left.
Yeah, I forgot that even Endo was a full option. Yeah, actually, I'll go Endo. I'd go with what I would have done today. I'd have done Endo. I'd have done McAllister left centre mid and then Sobo. But of course, McAllister's out, so I'd go with.
I'd say Jones, or you going Elliot, or you going Gakpo?
I've liked Elliot. Do you know what? I'd go with Elliot. I think Elliot from the start of the game, give him a little opportunity because I feel like, but Gakpo though. Gakpo impressed me today. Right, yeah, let me think who's going to do the best against Newcastle. Maybe even a bit of Endo. Nah, that's a bit fucked. I was going to say Endo and Bajcetic. Then I realised the problems that come along with that. I'm trying to think who's got legs out of our midfielders. Who's our midfielders, bro?
So for Newcastle, you'd have Szobo, you'd have Endo, you'd have Elliot, you'd have Jones, you'd have Bajcetic.
I think it's got to be Curtis in it for the balance.
I think it ends up being just Curtis. Curtis on the left, Szobo on the right, Endo in the middle. And then that frees up Szobo to get further forwards and try and do stuff in the opposition box.
Yeah.
I think it's the best solution.
By the way, who would you start at number 9? Because I think Jota's had an underwhelming first 2 games. Would you make a change, or do you think? Because I think with a striker, it's important that they at least get a chance to score goals. You know what I mean? And and he scored today. Bear in mind, it was just like a bit of a tap-in, but he just hasn't played well. Do you think that? Would you make a change, or would you just stick with Diogo?
I said that on stream earlier. I think Newcastle is a game for Gakpo. I think if you're able to draw out Botman and you're able to draw out Fabian Shaw from their centre-back positions and open up the space for your wingers to run in behind, then you're going to create some real good opportunities. For me, I would potentially go Salah on the right, Gakpo in the middle, and either Nunez or Jota on the left.
Jeez.
Someone who... Diaz has been boss to start off with, brilliant goal stay as well. But I want someone who's just... main intention is to get in behind and score goals.
Yeah.
Diaz wants to take on, man. Diaz wants to have his moments in front of the camera, nutmegging someone and then taking it back because the nutmeg wasn't good enough and then doing it again because he's just Luis Diaz.
Yes.
I want Nunez or Jota in there, so the moment Gakpo's able to get that half yard of space for them, they're in behind. They're one-on-one with the keeper. They can score that chance.
That's right.
I think that's how you're going to beat Newcastle because I watched them today against City. That defence is incredibly solid. But the moment you're able to drag someone out of shape, it crumbles. And there's no one better for that job than Gakpo in the middle, which is why I know Jota scored today, and I thought in the second half he was much more improved. But Newcastle away is a game for Cody, 100%.
Bro, I think that was a good assessment as well. Shout out to Jack Eglinton. He says Endo is a yard dog. That's right.
You don't need a good yard dog, though. If you want your show dogs, you need your yard dog to make sure.
You need a yard dog. Need a yard dog. A lot of people that benefit with a fucking yard dog. Big up to Captain Sally, who also wishes Drunk Vigo a happy birthday. What a legend Captain Sally is. Literally sends him money to wish people the best. What a legend. Everyone subscribe to Tom Little. He is almost at 1,000 subs. He's almost there. Chat. Surely we need no more than 10 or 20 to get Tom over the line. Come on. Let's have a little look. I'm praying that because we can make this. We can fucking make this.
We're at 977.
So we need 23.
23, yeah.
Chat, we can get 23 mushes in here to go and subscribe to Tom. Come on. I'm already subscribed, so I can't even do it again. So, chat, we need you guys to go and actually subscribe. You get what I'm saying?
I'm running out of bank accounts as well. I can't keep funding myself.
That's right. Guys, oh, brilliant. That's what I love to see. I want everyone to be like, I subbed. That's what I want to be seeing. I don't want to just be seeing nothing in the chat. Let's not be inactive bastards. Pay your rent. You know what I mean? He donates his time to this channel as well, so this channel wouldn't be as good without Thomas. Yeah, no, lad, I agree. I suppose with Endo, it has made me a bit more positive in the short term in terms of options who we can use. Doesn't mean I'm happy overall with the window. That's
but I look at Endo and I see someone who can come in and do a job.
He just does a job, bro.
That's all I can ask of the lad.
Do you know what, though? I bet you Endo is probably a hot take that people could disagree with. I think Endo can come in right now and do a better job than what Fabinho did last season.
Fabinho was shit last season, so it's not very hot.
That's why I'm saying this. That's why I'm saying this. But how many people were saying let's keep Fabinho, even though there was no sign he was going to get back on a pedestal?
I have very strong thoughts about that. I'm very big on the idea that this football club does transfers wrong a lot of the time. You look at how we operate. The biggest issue this football club has had is keeping hold of players for too long. So the likes of Endo, the likes of Ox, the likes of Keita, we've held on to them for too long and we've lost the resale value. You get the chance to make to break even on Fabinho. You make that chance and you take that chance.
That's
100%
right.
You do. So I'm not against us getting rid of Fabinho. My point is, if you're going to get rid of him, you replace him properly. And we tried to, we didn't do it. We tried to again, we didn't do it. Third time's a charm, and Check the Core is a fantastic option to do that with. Ultimately, we had to do it a bit quicker, but this is the situation we're in now. The situation we're in now is Check the Core can come in now. I want Check the Core in now. I want Check the Core in now. I think that lad helps us get the job done. We're loving life. We're going to win the league. We're going to win the Champions League even though we're not in it. Who cares? Endo's going to lift the trophy because he's fucking Endo. Who cares? That's all we need. So they gave me a lot of confidence despite the dodgy performance of the first 20. Because once we went down to 10 men, did you see the patterns of play we had? Did you see the moments where Gakpo was into Diaz and then Jota and then Fixture? And
it was nice, bro. Now you can see that we're cooking up something, you know what I mean? On the offensive front, like going forward, we're cooking.
There's something brewing. It just needs that glue to hold it all together.
That's right. It needs the coffee, mate. That's what it needs. It needs the coffee, mate. That's what we need on top of it all.
We've got the roast potatoes. We've got the parsnip. We've got the carrot and turnip. We've got all that stuff. You just need the gravy to tie it all over.
This is why you deserve 1,000 subs, bro. Your boss. By the way, congratulations. By the way, chat, I need us to analyse something. How boss and professional was it of Tom there to sit there, literally seeing he's hit a K subscribers and still finish his point? That's why I love the dude. This is A-star stuff right here now. Congratulations, bro. That's proper.
Thank you very much. That is mad.
Well,
a month ago I was on 500, which is fucking mental. The growth has been mad. Thank you all very much.
You're the only person who can upload 4 videos a month and still get 500 subscribers in a month. You're insane, bro. You're actually insane. Do you know my first month returning to? I came back to YouTube in June, posting consistently, and it took, I think, in my first month between the 4th of June and the end of June, I think I got in total like maybe about 600, 700 subscribers. So but that was me uploading every single day. So it's a good perspective for you, bro. But to be fair though, you've been doing work on channels like other channel, my channel, Sam's channel.
I do plenty of work on others. It's just mine that gets fucked off.
Yeah, I'm on to. Yeah, no, honestly, you need to start posting more, start making that a priority. And I know people are tuning into you, lad. They fucking love you. But you love collaborating though as well, don't you? You love like.
I've done a preview stream and there was plenty of people who are seeing in there today. So there's a good core of people that travel through the street. So massive thank you to all them.
Nice. Nah, that's boss. Jeez, Tom's just too popular in Liverpool, you know. But yeah, chat. Now, big up to yourselves. I made up. We can like have a little final touch there, seeing him, achieve something massive, and
Also, by the way, James, you need to update this background. You know that shirt, that 2020, 2021 shirt, it needs to be changed because that's a dodgy shirt. You know.
Yeah, it is a dodgy shirt, isn't it? It is a dodgy shirt. I don't know why. They're just like PNGs I've got saved. I haven't done any more PNG images, you know what I mean? Like, so I need to go and... Well, actually, Nah, do you know what? I'll be able to cook something. I should be able to cook something.
We need something brewing for next week where you're not in the shirt that just reminds me of Van Dijk getting his knees.
Watch as we go by. You're gonna see nothing but changes. So I'm gonna get a trim. So I'm gonna look dangerous, right? That's one thing. And then next thing,
Getting the trim.
What?
You getting the trim, are you?
I'm getting a trim. I'm getting a trim, and it's gonna be dangerous.
No one's stopping Redmond with the new trim.
I am a
trim, Redmond.
If you thought Endo was dangerous in CTM, just wait until you see Redmond get a trim.
The cap won't be on. That's all I'll say.
Oh no, the cap will be thrown away. You'll never see this cap again. You'll never see this cap again, and you'll wish. Oh my goodness, I wish James was wearing the cap. Yeah, I'm gonna be, and then I'm gonna have a background. And that's going to be boss. And because of the continuous support of the JRTV viewers who fund this channel, we're gonna be getting better cameras, better equipment, and then we're gonna be sitting here in a couple of months' time, like, oh my goodness, James Redmond is a huge fucking deal. And then people will say, oh my goodness, James, how do you do it? I'll say because I've got the best community in the world and I work with the best people. Who
else has a drunk Vigo? Who else has a Captain Sal? They don't.
No one has those levels of subscribers, bro. Like now we need to talk about the standards of subscribers. Our subscribers are way too elite. Like pound for pound, best subscribers on YouTube. Chat WRL.
Other people have the average midfielders. We have the workhorses. We have the ones who are there 24/7, 365 days a week. You need them, they're there. And there's nothing that matches that.
They all just proper back it, bro. You know what I mean? Like if we get into beef in town, we're all backing it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Just fucking going there with the moosels and that. But yeah, man, that was a good stream. Tom, do you want to close out on anything? Say anything to the boys and the girls?
Wataru Endo is going to be the best DM in the league in 6 months. And if you're not in the Endo clan, applications are closing very quickly.
And we're going to fuck you, Newcastle, you dickheads. Yeah,
that's accepted anyway. I don't think I need to inform people of that.
Yeah, fuck off, Newcastle, you bloody fucking muppets, mate, yeah? Nah, I'm only messing. Newcastle a proper sound, lad, but I just don't want them to become better than us, you know what I mean? Because then I'll look at them like the way I looked at City, like, oh, yeah, they're sound. And then they'll become pricks, bro.
100%. Like,
can you imagine them being friggin' shameless as well? That'd be a proper shame.
Newcastle were all right. It's that little, team that you thought, oh, they're the little scrappy little team down the bottom. You like Newcastle, they got some good fun, and then they've actually got good, and you're going, I don't like Newcastle, actually. No, they're taking our shot.
You're on it, lad, they've got proper witty fans as well, so they can tell you with wisdom. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to be like, you know what I mean, mate? And fucking, well, I fucking have a chugging down on my drink and that, you know what I mean? You fucking wankers. I'll just be like, oh, fuck off, please. I'll have to get a Newcastle fan to debate, because I think a Scouser versus a proper Geordie would be...
Oh, no, that'd be box office, that would.
That'd be box office at its finest.
No one would understand the debate, but that would be box office.
That's right. But yeah, chat, big up for getting Tom to 1,000 subscribers. Big up for the continuous support on this channel. You know that I love you. And for everyone who's continuously financially supporting and all that good stuff. Can't thank you enough, to be honest. And yeah, big up to Szoboszlai, who's my guy from friggin' Hungary. You know what I'm saying? Nah, big up, chat. You have a good night, and I will see you. Peace. JP.